And we are back. And we just finished 2020's Young Hearts, rated nothing, according to IMDb.
It was TVMA.
Oh, TVMA. With a runtime of 1 hour and 21 minutes. This is currently streaming on HBO Max. This was written by Sarah Sherman, with directing credits to Sarah Sherman and Zachary Ray Sherman. This story follows Harper, a 14-year-old freshman who kind of stumbles, kind of accidentally, into a relationship with her older brother's best friend, Tilly. I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. Tilly! I'm going to start with you. What did you think of this film?
It's all right.
What made it just all right?
It's like a slice of life movie, so you're not really, I don't know, you're not going to be getting some sort of like satisfying ending. It takes place over the course of a month, and just these young kids falling in love, and then I guess falling out of love, and then I guess becoming friends. I don't know. Maybe it felt portrayed accurately.
Yes, very.
This seems like the kind of silly young person romance and awkwardness and cringiness that you go through when you're that age. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's no raid.
Different kind of movie. Different kind of movie. Okay. I actually liked this a lot. I thought the writing in it was really well done. I thought the character portrayals were also really, really well done. It felt like being 14, 15 years old again, being a freshman or a sophomore in high school. I think that the landscape of the social environment was accurately done. You have people that are bullies, you have your quote unquote friends, and you have your friends that are almost like your enemies in a way. She had like a core group of friends, but within that core group, she had a bunch of people that were kind of not really nice.
They didn't like him.
I know, but
that to me rang truest of all, is the friends not liking the boyfriend or the girlfriend.
Fair enough. And yes, I do agree with you, but here there was no reason for it. I don't feel like Tilly.
There's never really a good reason for it. It's just that's how it is. It's like, oh, well, now you're hanging out with this person all the time. What about us? Why are you bringing this person around? This person's so lame. I can't talk to you like I can when this person's not around.
All right,
you're a
fair.
Different person now. It's just.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but that wasn't really addressed here. I felt like that's
exactly what those kids are acting like.
No,
I remember
they
those
are,
days.
but the only one that sort of verbalized it was like, "Oh, don't bring him."
Oh, but they were all in agreement. None of their friends liked him.
Which was weird because he didn't give them a reason to. I mean, it wasn't like he was smacking her around or cheating on her, or
he didn't belong.
They probably thought he was ugly.
It wasn't even that. They could have thought he was ugly. He didn't belong. Those are her friends. Those are her core group of people that she's probably hung out with for many years, doing stuff together, whatever. Now there's this whole new element of what? A relationship, a boy, romance. Prior to that, the boys were just disgusting cootie farms. Now it's like you're making out with him. You're having sex with him.
But this is the thing. Towards the end, I guess after the breakup, when Harper is walking with her friend and that boy that apparently is now her boyfriend because they're holding hands. Mm-hmm. Harper's not being an ass about it. So this is the thing.
That's because Harper was clearly an empathetic person, and she was already in that position.
Right. So she understood. Right. But I also felt like Harper, even within her core group of friends, was the more mature one.
Yeah, I feel that too.
So my first question is, why is Harper hanging out with all these lame people?
Because she grew up with them. They probably went to class and hung out. They're her friends. Why is Tilly hanging out with
Adam?
Those douchebags? Oh. I mean, seriously, those other two kids that, aside from the chubby one, those other two kids were just assholes.
I know. I wish he had thrown a punch in that kid's face.
And that's like another, like, maybe, I guess times are different now where we fight, but back in the day,
we would have thrown down.
You call somebody's girlfriend a slut, and you're getting your teeth kicked in.
Yeah.
Somebody's teeth are getting knocked out.
I didn't like that. He was like,
And he wasn't even standing up for her. He was
He was
just
a baby. He was useless. He wasn't even standing up for his girl. Like, Jesus Christ.
The Tilly guy and her brother did nothing when she was
That's
like,
true.
what?
That's true. Neither
Yeah.
one, not even the brother.
Especially, I mean, oh my God. My friend Mike almost like killed people if they looked at his sister.
Right.
Like,
As he should.
That was just how it was. Yeah. And this kid, he's just they're all hanging out together. They're playing video games.
What? They were smoking too much weed. They were too passive.
I don't know. Maybe things are different in Portland.
I guess.
That was Oregon.
Portland
Jesus
is in
Portland
Oregon.
is in
Christ.
Oregon.
Didn't we just say this during the watching of this film?
I do not remember.
There is also, in her defense, there is a Portland, Maine, but we did
probably
mention.
didn't even know that was a place.
Yeah.
I didn't know Portland was a place.
Yeah, but you knew Portland, Oregon.
What
was
could
a
have made
place.
this better for you?
I mean, nothing really. This
wasn't for you.
This isn't my type of movie. I mean, like I said, I appreciate how they captured the awkwardness and the cringiness and the relationship dynamics because that is true. And it's the same for the boy group as it is for the girl group. I remember when...
Did you go through this?
I remember when Leon first started bringing his first girlfriend around. We despised her.
Why?
Because it was like you couldn't hang out with him anymore. And if you did hang out with him, she was there. And she was just a drag. We hated her. We just hated her so much. And then she just like tore his heart out. And he became even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Just this whining, just a total bitch. and just sitting in his house listening to Depeche Mode.
Oh my
nonstop.
He went through his emo
I
phase.
like Depeche Mode,
Depeche
but
Mode.
Jesus Christ, give it a
At least
break.
he wasn't going Smiths into the Cure on loop.
No,
That's
never
suicidal.
got that bad. But then I'm like getting dragged into this freaking drama. I remember one time we're all in a car together, and he saw her in a car with some other person.
Uh-oh.
And the next thing I know, I'm in the freaking backseat of this goddamn car, and I don't know if he was driving or one of my friends was driving, and they're driving like maniacs, chasing this person. And I'm just like, what the hell are you going to do when you get her? What are you going to do when what are you going to pull out and drag her out and beat up the guy? You're a wimp, Leon. You're a total wimp. Nobody's going to, you're going to get your ass kicked. And I'm like fearing for my life because seriously, you know the streets in Brooklyn, all these
They're
narrow
ridiculous.
side streets,
Yeah, they're
nothing
ridiculous.
but stop signs. We could have died. Well, why? Because my heart's breaking.
Listen, have a little compassion.
There's a reason we hated that girl. We were justified.
No.
But I'm sure if she had friends, we never met them, they probably hated us too. So
That's silly. Gee, I'm going to go to you. What did you think of this film? See, yeah, animal.
Christ.
What do you think of this film?
I didn't like it.
No?
The ending ruined everything. Also, her boyfriend just being like a goddamn
bitch.
wimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't use any stronger language.
You could say bitch.
I can't say another word
What
that I
about
want to say.
P-U-S?
Is that the word you were going to say?
I wanted to say that when we were
A
watching.
pussy? Or a pussy.
A P-U-S-Y.
We'll call back to Puss in Boots.
A good movie. Instead of watching Young Hearts, go watch Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
I disagree, but okay.
No.
What?
I-
You like this movie?
I like this movie. I
she
didn't say I
literally
liked it
said
more
that.
than Puss in Boots, but
Puss.
Puss, whatever.
You liked it more than Puss in Boots?
Here we go
You are a
again.
maniac.
She said puss.
Did I?
Yeah.
You either said puss or poos.
Puss.
Wait, is Poos the correct? I'm gonna say Poos.
No, it's
Don't do what you're doing. You're corrupting the children.
I can't help it. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Poos?
it's puss.
Puss.
There you go.
There you go. What could have made this better for you, G? Because this is for you, probably. You're the target audience for this story.
No, she isn't.
She's in high school. Yes, of
Yeah,
course
I'm a
this is her.
teenage girl.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
literally the same
literally
age
the
as
same age.
Yeah.
female lead.
No, you aren't.
What the hell
She
are you
was
talking
14.
about?
Really?
Yeah, freshman.
All right, stop talking.
What the hell?
What could have made
Wait,
this?
seriously? That's
All right, wait.
that like.
She was
Gee.
having sex at 14, if that's what you're wondering. Yeah.
Yes, she was having sex at 14.
God.
Gee, what could have made this movie better for you?
I didn't like the ending.
You didn't like the ending.
Like the very end with
The very
where they meet up and walk to school
Yeah,
together.
that was weird. I didn't like how they did that. I don't know why. It just really bothered me. I'm sorry.
Was
but
it
that
like
was weird.
awkward?
No, it wasn't even the awkwardness because it's awkward. Like, I've had situations, or I've spoken to someone where it's been like that. It's been really awkward and weird.
well, that's
No, my best friend was like, that was so weird. I don't know why I was standing there. It was
I mean, I think-
uncomfortable.
I mean, you remember being that age, don't you?
Well, I think
Every interaction
Yeah.
with someone that you like is like that. Especially in the beginning.
Well, I think that's where this film did a good job in that they showed how awkward they were in the very beginning.
Right.
Like, I expected them to just be like, "So you like stuff?" You know?
Leaves. The leaves
Yeah.
on the
Like,
floor.
I got
leaves.
some leaves.
I mean, he didn't even say
Literally
that.
showing her leaves. Like,
I know.
This is my,
That was
this is my
wild.
leaf collection. Yeah.
Yeah.
My leaf collection. You know, you must find it pretty cool. You know, think I'm cool.
No, not with that hair.
Oh God, the hair.
The hair. The hair was distracting to me.
Oh
and
my
yet,
God.
why do young men like that look? Can you explain it to me?
That's just the style now.
Is it really?
When I was young, it was spiky hair.
Spiky hair?
Yeah. Our heads look like blowfish.
Porcupines.
Yeah.
Did I ask you what could have
Ton
made this
of
better for you,
gel.
G?
Yeah, I just said I didn't like the ending. They'd have to change the ending to something that was not that.
So, as far as the ending, could it be that that Tilly and Harper still really liked each other and they were maybe finding their way back to each other with more clear eyes and a little bit more maturity because of the things that they'd already gone through? And they also had this foundation. From the film or from the story, you gather that she actually knew Tilly first and then the family adopted Adam.
Sort of, but he was 4 and she was 3.
Right. But they've always been in each other's lives.
Sort of,
So they
yeah.
have that-
But more so that since the two boys became friends.
Friends, right.
I don't. I just think that by the end of the film, I don't know if it. I think they were happier apart, and I think that they're okay with being friends because I think they both realize that they're happier apart. She's happier, definitely, and he seems happier now that he's friends with Adam again because now he has his stoner buddy, and they're just laughing and playing video games
Getting high.
And dancing for some reason.
and dancing with each other.
Dancing in the street, waiting to get hit by a car, you know?
I don't know. It was weird to me because it was like, well, it wasn't weird to me. I mean, I had an initial interpretation of what the ending was, that they would maybe come back together.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that would be impossible. I just think that I'm thinking of it more rationally. These are stupid hormonal teenagers.
Exactly.
They'll
Nobody's thinking
probably
rationally
end
at
up
14,
dating
15.
again and
Yeah.
ruining everything again and
Yeah.
getting upset.
Just like after, you know, those hardened.
Although, I have to say, for someone who is 14, kudos to Harper because she was super mature. I mean, he throws out well, maybe we should break up. And she just freaking cut
Okay.
him at the knees and was like, you know what? Let's break up.
Yeah.
I certainly don't need you.
Yeah, that was nice to see that she
I
wasn't getting
really
all...
liked Harper as a character. I mean, I kind of wish she had been a little bit smarter about her first time, but
I mean, she was in charge of the whole thing.
yes, she definitely called the shots.
That kid folled her lead.
Yes.
She was the leader in all things.
She was the alpha. Olive G, what did you think of this film?
I thought it was horrible.
What was so horrible about it?
God damn.
Everything.
What was so bad?
Oh my God, where to start?
All right, start from
Like,
somewhere.
The guy, he was such Can I say this for?
Why don't you spell it, and then I'll
I don't
tell
know how
you.
to spell it.
The P word?
Yes.
Just say,
You just said it before.
Just say he's a wimp.
He's a wimp.
He
There
was
you
a
go.
pussy. And
Wow.
God.
he couldn't even stand up for his girl. Also, that
Even after Dad told you to say wimp.
oh my god, that ugly mushroom haircut. Who gave you that? You? It's disgusting. Get rid of it. I wish I could crawl into the TV and shave him bald.
Apparently,
Also-
that is the style for young men. That is the style.
Also, like, no one has, I don't think anyone has mentioned it, but the neck bend when they
The
get
neck bend was
That
wild.
was-
Oh my
yeah.
god.
He was like a horror
He looked
character.
like a giraffe.
It did. It reminded me of that scene in that terrible movie
Smile.
Smile, where the wife's, the
Sister.
sister's head just goes crank.
Crank. Yeah.
It's like a pendulum.
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
god.
Yes.
Also, like, this guy was just like, look at my leaf collection.
Listen. Okay. So
He was sensitive.
Yes.
He was in
because he was. He
was in
lost his mother.
He was in the theater group, but his mom died. And
Yeah. His dad is
Get
barely
over
getting
it.
by.
Come on, you have like a life to live. Come on, man.
You never get over your mom dying.
People to see, places to go. Come on, get over it, or you never will.
Jesus,
The kid's
I don't go
Barbara.
anytime soon.
God.
Yeah, Olivia. I guess Olivia didn't like this movie.
I guess
I
not.
hated this movie.
I am going to disagree with everyone at this table. I think
Oh
it
my
was a
God.
really, really good slice of life. I actually like this slice of life better than Lady Bird. I feel like it was definitely representative of being 14, 15 years old. Everything about that felt very true. Everything about it was cringy, especially in the beginning, cringy and awkward and weird and
But Lady Bird wasn't even good, so I don't really.
Wait. I
Fair,
have a
but-
question. Who is more horrible, Nadine or this lady?
Nadine.
Nadine,
without a doubt.
Nadine
Yeah.
was way
She
more
was
trouble.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
But
nuts.
I enjoyed the hell out of Edge of 17.
Yeah,
I
that's a
like
great
that
film.
movie better.
Yeah, that's a great
But
movie.
that wasn't a slice of life. That
That
movie
was more
that
like-
was like a plot driven
story.
thing.
Yeah.
Even Lady Bird had more of a, I guess, of
Story
a
structure.
a story structure than this one did. This
did?
one was
It
this
looked
one
like
was
someone in high school wrote
this one was
this.
like really
didn't
a
like
slice
Lady
of
Bird.
life, just a relationship over the end. It almost makes it feel like it took place over a longer period of time. It took place over October. That was it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were still in school and
I have a
hadn't,
question.
winter
And
hadn't come.
kudos to this film because all these kids looked like kids.
Yeah.
Wasn't like
Yeah.
Lady Bird or Edge of 17 or
where
anything
you
where
have 20-year-olds playing
20-year-olds, everybody's got abs and facial hair and
Yeah.
whatnot. These look like gawky, especially Tilly. Good Lord,
With
gawky.
that
Tilly
hair.
was weird looking.
Gawky was
It's
the word,
Tilly.
the best description.
Like greens.
Big City Greens.
Basically. Yeah.
just
What is your
moving the way they
problem?
move is awkward.
sounds
The
like
way
that.
the way they sort of like
Interact.
move around each other. So much awkwardness, and that's
What
true.
it's like
That's-
being a
that's-
teenager.
yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. I like this movie a lot. I think it was really well done. I love that the ending is somewhat ambiguous and you don't know. You don't know what happens next. And I think that this is like a nice little snapshot of this moment in time in these two individuals' lives. I feel bad that they felt the need to break up. Harper makes that comment like no one's happy that we're together, so that doesn't make me happy. That kind of
that's teenagers.
It is.
It's
But
like
that sort of
there's
made
so
me
much outward pressure.
right. But
Like when
that's-
you get older, as you get older, you just care less.
right. But
It's like screw what the hell everybody else thinks.
fair enough. But I felt like for someone who was so in her mind and very sure of herself and very confident. I mean, she didn't exhibit most of the
Teenage foibles.
right, like low self-esteem and stuff like that. I mean, girls that I knew, maybe even I would put myself in that category, would the whole thing about being with a boy because you want them to like you or whatever, that wasn't the case with her. She was with Tilly because she wanted to be with Tilly.
Yeah.
She didn't feel pressured into this. I mean, he gave her an out. He was like, we don't have to do this.
Well, she also was probably the least awkward looking of all of her friends.
Yeah, she was
Actually, of all the
beautiful.
girls
She
in the
was
school,
really,
yeah,
really
she was.
gorgeous.
She was.
I was surprised more boys weren't like all over her.
Yeah, like all the other girls looked like they hadn't like figured out a sense of style for themselves or anything.
Right, yeah.
They maybe were just experimenting with makeup poorly.
Yes.
She looked extremely well put together. Yeah.
And gorgeous. I mean, I don't think there was a bad shot of Harper in this whole film.
She never looked off. She
No.
was
No,
always
her hair was
good.
perfect.
Well,
Her
the
style, her eyes.
Everybody else.
No, a little frizzy when like she left and like she sat down on the ground with her friends and he's like, "Oh, it was party," or like her hair is kind of messy.
No,
No.
you're wrong.
No.
She always
was
looked on
always-
point.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was always looking immaculate.
Yeah, agreed.
Like her friends were kind of
Goofy.
awkward looking.
Yeah,
Yeah. Especially
looking.
there was the real gangly one.
Yeah.
With the nose.
Yeah, I mean, her nose may have been odd, but I don't want to bust somebody on that. But I was just talking about like her body shape. It's like, that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying these kids look like they were in school, because
Right.
when you're in school, your body is changing, you're growing, and
Yeah. And you don't know what to do with yourself.
some parts of your body, you just look disproportionate. I mean,
like Tilly, I was like, does he have some kind of
Tilly's
weird...
arms and legs were bizarre.
Bizarre,
He
yeah.
was like Slender Man.
Yes. That's it. I couldn't think of it. He's totally looked like a Slender Man. Holy
This kid
cow.
at my school, like some of my friends call him Slenderman because he's like,
Shaped like that?
He's so
Yeah. Or like
weird and
Manute
gangly.
Bowl, if you remember him.
No,
All right.
he knows who that is.
Yeah. All right.
He's a
All right.
basketball player. Who seriously looked like he came off a spaceship.
I'm going to go around the table and get numbers. Olive G, 1 to 10. What would you give this movie?
0.
What?
I'm just joking.
Jesus
Come on,
Christ.
try and be critical here, but not
Negative 1,000.
Don't
No.
be brutal.
1 to 10. It wasn't bad.
In all
was
reality,
bad.
Olivia
No,
would
it
probably
wasn't.
give this a 4 or a 5.
A
'cause
3.
A 3? Really?
There.
I think you're wrong, but
On the
okay.
3.5.
Yeah, that feels harsh.
Yeah. G, what would you give this? 1 to 10.
I'll give it a 6.
A 6.
6 or like 6.5 because the ending ruined everything. Also, Tilly's barber did him wrong.
Tilly's barber did do him wrong.
Tilly's barber probably did exactly what he wanted.
Like that scene in Fleabag.
Oh God!
I love that.
What scene?
I'll show it to you later. 1 to 10.
I would give this a 6. It's okay. It's not for me. I think they did a good job portraying the kids and whatnot, but I'm not the
Target audience
slice
here.
of life guy. I want something really to happen, and there were parts of this movie where it dragged for me.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Like if they maybe would have condensed, like if this was like a half-hour show, like this took place in a half hour or something, or maybe just like
half-hour show. Is this going to replace Euphoria?
this was more like this. That was high school. Euphoria is not high. Euphoria is just psychotic. Like what school is? I don't care if you are in California where everybody's weird. No.
No,
It's Euphoria.
Ohio.
Yeah.
It is not
No, it's
Ohio.
California,
Quit
somewhere.
it.
Ohio.
But
What
anyway,
is your obsession with Ohio?
too many YouTube.
Olivia
Yeah,
wants.
seriously.
Olivia wants to marry Ohio.
I'm part of the
state.
iHeart Ohio Weirdness fan club.
I don't
Olivia's
understand
just
your obsession
insane.
with the OH2.
Olivia is just mentally unstable.
All right.
Also,
Fair enough.
you can never leave
What about
Ohio,
you?
so-
What about you?
I'm going to give this film a 7. I think from where it starts to where it ends, it's an interesting journey. I really enjoyed Harper's character. I wish Tilly had risen to the occasion, but I can also see how this is how young boys who don't want to kind of rock the boat act. I mean, maybe he wasn't a fighter. I mean, if he's in the theater club, I'm assuming he doesn't know how to
he
throw
clearly
punches
was
and
not a
stuff.
physical person. Those girls were like throwing the basketball at him, and he was
Oh yeah,
basically
did you
like,
see that?
Yeah.
Like even what Harper was doing better than him. She's tiny.
Well, she was in the basketball team, so
Surprisingly.
yeah, but like he couldn't even catch a basketball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like his whole body
he was
shuddered
like,
upon
yeah.
impact.
Yeah, I was like, come on.
he was fragile.
Yeah, you're like 6 6'6" or whatever you are. You should be good carrying a basketball around.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know. I
whimper
disagree
or
with
something.
everyone. I think that this was well done. This is sort of like the adult version of language lessons.
Same.
It's sort of
Adult
like
version.
That there's the then it makes sense that the Duplass brothers are involved.
Yeah.
What the hell does language lessons have to do with this?
it's the same people that made this film.
Oh.
well, producers.
Producer, sorry.
These films have like nothing in common besides the producers.
It's just awkward people talking.
Yeah, but
And
the
it's very
relationships,
slice of life-ish.
the relationships were different though.
The relationships were very, very different. Yes. But I really liked this. It reminded me a lot of being a 14, 15-year-old and what that's like, and kind of the frenetic pace of it, and how one day you're okay and then the next day you're not. One day you're in love, the next day you're not. I mean, it's very, very much what it's like to be a teenager. So I don't envy any of these kids coming up now, because it's probably a million times worse now with social media. So although I liked...
And if your friends get into any kind of relationship and break up and they get into a car and see the other person, make sure that you don't get into a high-speed car chase. That was like one of the worst days of my life. No.
I want to be the
No.
one driving.
No. Don't be that girl.
No.
Don't be SZA.
I want to be that girl.
No.
SZA wouldn't do that.
She's ready to kill the ex-boyfriend and the girl and the new
yeah,
girlfriend.
but she probably wouldn't like be in a car. She'd just like go
She'd
to
probably
their
run them
house.
over with the car. What are you talking
A
about?
house.
What are you talking about? I don't even know.
That's Kill Bill song.
She'd probably just like stab them or something. Yeah.
Even worse.
Don't do that. None of
Don't
that.
do that either.
None of that
Hey,
behavior.
move on healthy
Wants an
and
Oscar.
All right, let's go.
All right, wait.
Let's
So
wrap this up.
I was gonna
be
I was
healthy
gonna make
when you
another.
break up.
Yes, I was gonna make another.
Hooters.
Stop. I was going to make another point, which was that I enjoyed that this, I mean, it was very superficially done, but the idea of adoption here, adopting kids from other countries to build these families. It was interesting that Harper was very almost militant about women's rights and being sort of like a spokesman for them. And how her passion for, I guess, argument led her to a spot on the debate team. I thought that was great. This is a short film. It's only an hour and 21 minutes, I think. It would have been nicer to see more of that evolution of her character, but
It
for...
was outside the bounds of the story.
I guess. I mean, I think, I guess the main focus here by the story writers was just to focus on this
Relationship.
little time in their lives when they had this relationship.
Yeah.
I still think this is better than people at this table are giving it credit for. I wonder...
You gave it a 7. I gave it a 6. So did G.
I gave it even higher. I gave it a
Yeah.
6.5.
It's not like as though you gave it a
Olivia
10.
is the only
Well, it's
person
not a 10.
who didn't
Yeah,
really...
I hated this.
it's okay. It's okay.
It's better than okay.
What's your problem?
This was...
You thought it was good, and I thought it was okay.
This was better than Top Gun Maverick.
I would rather watch Top Gun Maverick
You're
than this
insane.
movie.
The Top Gun Maverick was over 2 hours long.
Yeah, I'd rather watch this just because
I
of the
would
length.
I would probably still watch Top Gun
You're
Maverick over this.
insane. You're insane.
Yeah, this would be over like pretty quickly.
I mean, this felt long. This
No, it
felt long
didn't.
to me.
It did not at all. Not at all. And especially with the way these two Mystery Science Theater 3000 the shit out of this movie.
All right, come on. Let's wrap it up.
All right. So
3, 6,
7,
5,
6.5,
6.
6, and 3.5. This kid is absolutely wrong with her goddamn 3. But whatever.
I hate this movie.
You don't
hate
know what's
it
good.
So
You
much.
don't know what's good. I can't
Oh my
wait.
god.
I can't wait till you bring some mushroom-headed kid into my house, and I'm gonna
Lord,
tease you mercilessly.
All
Watch.
right, let's wrap it up.
I'll be lesbian
Stop
just
it.
to prove you wrong.
And it's time to say good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Don't get a shroom
Oscars.
haircut.